14 of the 16 through TBI and utilizing the equipment that they have on site. Again, I've spoken to all 16 families, and they have been brought up to speed and are in these conversations that take place today. We're moving forward. We're going to continue to move forward. The investigation is full force. It's at a snail's pace due to a lot of the conditions. I left the meeting just a few moments ago that I can tell you that ATF and other state agencies are still moving, are fully committed, and we're still moving forward and trying the very best that we can do to keep to go. So we're looking at, I can tell you also that we have scheduled and are planning just for today. We are already planning things as far as 2 weeks out. Again, just to say, I'm not saying that we're wrapping up in 2 weeks. Don't screw what I'm saying. We are right now have things planned to be here in 2 weeks. We're going to be reevaluating in that time because we're sure we can't tell you right now. We just don't know how long this is going to take. We're going to be here a long time, and as I said in some of our earlier interviews, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And so far, that's what we're planning, and that's what we're putting in our minds, and that's how we're planning things out. One of the things that I'd also like to touch on is we've got a lot of folks that's asking what we can do for these families. Again, I'd like to first and foremost start by saying prayers and keeping them and lifting them up. But we've got a lot of scams, a lot of GoFundMes, a lot of things like that, and we'd like somebody to these families. I know some people set up some GoFundMes for the family. Great thing, good thing, not saying that, but to make sure you know where that money is going, what the GoFundMe is. Take time to Sheriff, am I missing anything?
No, just with one of those GoFundMe, I know we have shared that on the Humphreys County, Hickman County EMA Facebook pages, Hickman County Sheriff's Office, and I'm sure Humphreys County Sheriff's Office will put those back out again probably this evening.
Any questions?
Can you describe what your conversations with the families have been like?
Say your name and where you're from, please.
Brayden Ross with WSMD.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can you describe what those conversations have been like and what you've been able to tell us?
You know, in situations like this, and early on, I always said that there's hope. You know, and I look to this situation. This is that situation to where we move past and we have to accept where we're at in this day and time. But this is that one little piece of light that's made it through it in efforts to give that family the hope of having closure. Not to be mistaken with anything else, and I think that's just the blessing that a lot of these families need is to be able to figure out some type of closure. And I'm really hoping that us being able to say that we've come to them, or that we bring the information to them, that we've been able to confirm through testing processes that we have been able to positively identify their loved one as being here on the scene.
And I know you all talked about kind of working through A, trying to make sure everything's safe, then B, looking at remains and trying to identify them, and then the investigation. Can you talk about like where you're at in terms of that? Is everything safe up there? And then in terms of removing remains, where are you at? And then moving to see.
Would you like to touch on that, sir?
Certainly, yes, I can. Yeah, thank you, Sheriff Davis and Sheriff Kraft. Appreciate it. My name is Jamie Van Vliet. I'm specially in charge for ATF's Nashville Field Division. And as you know, the sheriffs have mentioned, and my colleagues have mentioned in the previous few days, this is a very methodical and scientific process. You know, proud of the progress we've made to this point, but there's a lot of work still to do. As you can imagine, it's a vast scene. For the most part, we've been able to remove hazardous materials and live explosives from the scene. That doesn't mean we won't uncover more as we move forward in this process. So we're constantly mindful of that. Also, in the initial stages, trying to mindfully and respectfully remove the remains of the victims from the scene. So we may uncover additional items and those sort of things as we move forward and start processing the scene. This is day 5, and like I said, there's a lot more work to do. Thank you.
She had one first. I'll come back to you. Thank you. Hi, Madeline.
How does speeding up the identification process through this rapid DNA testing help, give those grieving families some, I guess, comfort in, again, the grieving process?
Did you say how does that do it? Again, I think you have to look at each family individually. We all grieve differently. Some families have it's had family members that work here and have worked here for some time. They understand some of the possibilities of things that could happen and how they could happen. We have some families that their loved ones haven't worked here, for but 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody's different. It's with any other natural situation, any other incident where somebody loses their life. It's everybody's different, and that's the only thing I could say. At least we're into focus all the hard work and focus all the energy to try to give each and every family that little bit of closure. Yes, sir. You have a question, sir?
Yes, sir. Sheriff, this might be a question for you, but
Sure.
Jim Garvey and expect some bad weather this week. How is that going to affect the investigative process moving forward?
Thanks, sir. Honestly, the weather, we're prepared to deal with the weather. We have rain gear and those sort of things, so it shouldn't impact the work our national response team and our partners are doing. Lightning, may slow us down. That's the only condition probably we wouldn't work in, but we're prepared to deal with the weather and continue to do our job here and work the scene.
Your hands and knees crawling through square by square, is that going to make it more difficult to find evidence?
Potentially, yeah. The weather, if you get water and puddles and those sort of things, yeah. But again, we're prepared to work through that, and we have done on numerous scenes in the past.
Sheriff, are you able yet to tell us what was in this building?
That's still part of the investigation, sir, and I'm going to yield that to ATF when they get ready to take care of that. They will. Do you have a question over here? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Michael, Local Pro TV and Independent Media.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
The first thing I'd like to say is so many comments on, let's say, 10 reels I've posted. They've sent in some questions that I'd like to ask on behalf of the viewers. But first and foremost, I'd like to say just from an analytic standpoint, and this is not to boost your ego, but the reels that I post of you, Sheriff Kraft, by far have tens of thousands of more views than any of the other reels I've posted, and what the comments are, they're thanking you so much for your transparency, your care, and your concern. It is reaching hundreds of thousands of viewers. So on behalf of them, I want to thank you for coming here every day and now every other day and however many days we'll be here going forward.
Thank you, ma'am.
What you're doing, and I'm saying that on behalf of them, on behalf of myself, and I'm sure all of us here. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate that.
Sure, of course, and thank you. And one of the questions that came in I thought was so interesting, and it's not a request to please release the footage, but assuming there are cameras everywhere, including cameras inside the facility, perhaps that footage was uploaded to a server or a cloud. If so, is that footage aiding in your investigation?
Any inclination that we have of something that may be evidentiary is being put where it needs to be put. It's being looked at. Anything that we feel, any stitch of information, any inclination that there's information, we're tracking it. We've been in these 4 or 5 counties away from here today, We're trying to talk with people and get every bit of information that we can, and every bit of information that we can goes to the investigators, goes to ATF. They're looking at it. They're looking at the whole big picture. And when we find out in some time from now, hopefully, what the ultimate conclusion is from here is that we can find that out and figure that out. But and that's a really great point. Anybody that thinks that they may have some information, please reach out to us. I don't want to put that out there to bombard us with false information or false things. But if you feel that you have something that is needed to be said, or that could be important to this investigation, please reach out to us. We need that. We need that information. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Sheriff, you want to give them a dispatch number?
Yes. If you don't mind, please reach. Excuse me, and I'll come back to you. 931-296-7792. That's Humphreys County 911. Sheriff.
Hickman County would be 931-729-5146.
Yes. Any kind of information, if you don't mind, please filter that where it needs to be. Was you finished?
I have a couple more, but if Dave wants to go.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave came in over your time, and this may be for Sheriff.
Yeah.
We spoke yesterday. I spoke with your chaplain. Do you know if they've attached a nonprofit to the GoFundMe yet?
Honestly, I've not had time to speak with him about that. Like I said, me and Sheriff Davis have been off site for a while this evening, and I'll get that information as soon as I can.
I know they're working on it. So
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know, it's logistically, and I want to go back to what he said. Sheriff Kraft and I have been to deliver ourselves the notifications of every one of these folks that we can, and it's each and every family has just sung their praises of thanks to the people that's investigating what's going on. And because they ask us questions of what's going on, how are they doing this, how are they doing that, and we can't go into detail and tell them things, but we try to give them at least a little bit of an inclination as to the physical part, the demanding part, the demand of what these guys on the scene are going through, and these guys are really in methodical, every way, form, or fashion, and it's a very, very slow, tedious job, and it's like I said earlier, we're at a snail's pace on that. Yes, ma'am, I'll come back to you unless somebody else had one, and let her do one more, and I'll slip into you. We've sort of kind of left that to the families ado. I've tried to be so respectful and mindful. If this would have been one of my family members, and you have to remember everybody's somebody, and that's something that we have really tried hard to protect. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
What y'all do. Y'all may can answer this, maybe not right now, but do y'all have a good idea of where the explosions may have started within the building?
I don't even want to speculate on that at this time. We are still way too early, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if we're not standing right back here in 2 months. It's how big and how massive this scene is, and the delicacy that they're having to process this thing with is just unimaginable. Yes, sir.
Sorry to ask this, Sheriff. Have any remains been returned to the family?
I'm going to leave that to two things. I'm going to leave that to part of the investigations. I'm going to also leave that to the medical examiner, and I'm going to have to add one. Forgive me, 3. I'm not going to address that due to protection of my families. Yes, ma'am. One more question.
Those people who were injured, I know there was 4 that went to hospitals. Have you spoken with them, and have they been able to share anything that's helpful in the investigation?
I've reached out to a couple of those that has been injured. I've been able to speak with 2. I believe it was 2 of them. They have spoke with the investigative side of it, and I'll leave that where it is. Last question. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Ask a couple of housekeeping things, if you don't mind. I know we had another conference scheduled for Friday. We're going to go ahead and cancel that at this point, just because of, you've heard slow and methodical all week long, and so I think it's at the point that there's a good chance there's not any new information to warrant you coming all the way down here and, you know, standing with the bats over your head. That, you know, there will be another one. We just don't know when yet. If you haven't already registered on the Buck Snort Incident 2025 at Gmail email address, please do, because we will continue to push out information through that venue just to get you guys at least knowing if there's anything that you need to be aware of or not. And I think that takes care of it. Again, thank you so much. We appreciate the patience and the respect that you've shown us. We're really appreciative.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.